On this week's episode of the Imagineers Disney podcast, we talk about the legacy of Chadwick Boseman and what he brought both on screen and off screen. So stick around, all of that ahead on the Imagineers Disney podcast.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Imagineers Disney podcast. I am your host, Matt. I do have some bad news to start the show off with. Unfortunately, Susie will not be with us tonight. Her dog, Bailey, passed away this week. It's been kind of a rough week for both of us, for our pets. My wife's childhood dog passed away on National Dog Day, and now Susie's dog. So Susie's just taken a couple of days. We know that if you are a pet owner, it can be really difficult time when they pass away. But we hope Susie will be back soon, and our thoughts are with you. But tonight we are actually going to talk about Chadwick Boseman. And I've brought on a couple of our friends of the podcast. We've actually had one of them on the podcast with us recently. And then actually it's one of our listeners. So I'm going to welcome Christoph and Stuart onto the program. Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, everybody?
Well, it was quite a shocker this weekend. We do our Friday night movie nights. And then I remember just shortly thereafter, like I'm about to wrap up and go to bed. And then I see these tweets start rolling in with RIP Chadwick. I'm like, oh, someone's friend died. And then like I go look and it's actually Chadwick Boseman. And I didn't want to believe it. It's, one of those things. I mean, it was such a shocker. I was actually thinking about it today. The last time I've felt this way about like a celebrity dying, like it was almost the same way I felt when Robin Williams died. Just with just iconic, and so young and so fast. And we didn't even know that he had colon cancer, and he had kept that basically a secret since 2016. But yeah, we're just going to like kind of just spend a few minutes tonight just talking about him and his legacy and like what he really brought to the table in his acting career, as short as it was. But I mean, as short as his career was with filming, I think some of the movies that he had are just going to go down as classics, especially if you're a Marvel fan. So yeah. So what are y'all's thoughts?
Well, I can go ahead and go first. Actually, I kind of echo Matt's thoughts. I had gotten home a little later from work, and I remember I chose to watch something else because I think you guys had started Pete's Dragon.
Yes.
So I chose to watch another movie. I believe I watched Die Hard, and I was kind of actually in the middle of watching it, and I just kind of pop on my phone. I hop on social media. And then I see someone posted that, Chadwick Boseman. I'm like, whoa. It's like, then I start checking the news sources to make sure it's not a hoax, because from time to time, celebrities get their deaths hoaxed and whatnot.
Right.
It was 100% real. And I remember just thinking, it's like, wow. Like he just released a movie, which it is on my Netflix watch list, The Five Bloods. a few months ago. Like I want to say in February or March. And for him to just have been gone and have been battling the cancer for these last several years and keeping it secret, like what a warrior, what an inspiration, to kind of just, the show must go on, to keep on moving. He could have let the disease, get the best of him and say, hey, I'm going to just take a break from acting, let somebody else do these roles and whatnot. But just, just to take it on so strong.
I think that's one of the biggest takeaways that I took from it. I mean, essentially, looking at the Marvel films and his role as Black Panther, from the moment we saw him on screen as Black Panther, he had cancer. So with Civil War and Black Panther, of course, and then Endgame and Infinity War, he was undergoing treatment and he was battling all through that. And I think that's just a testament to how strong of a guy he was. Almost inspirational. I hope that if I were ever in the same circumstance, that I would be able to be as strong as he was, and all the backlash that he got. I can't remember what award show it was, but like on the red carpet, and
I think it was the Emmys or something like that.
Yeah. So, it just goes to show you never know what people are going through. So maybe, just give people kind of the benefit of the doubt. So
be sensitive.
Yep.
I guess for me, kind of just, what happened whenever I heard the news and stuff. I was playing video games as I usually do. It's like one of my things I do. And I was playing with one of my buddies from college. And in the middle of us playing a game, like I'm over there focused on the game, doing whatever. And I get a snap from my sister. She usually just texts me. So I was like, why is she snapping me? I had missed like 2 or 3 text messages or whatever. And I see the snap from her, and I open up Snapchat, and then in the video, she's like, so Dad just came over here and told me and Mom that Chadwick Boseman just passed away. And I was like, nah, there's no way that, Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther, like, there's no way that this man just passed away. Like, how? Like, how does that happen? And lo and behold, like Christoph was saying, I did some fact checking to make sure that all of that was true, because I remember somebody hoaxed Jackie Chan's death.
Yeah,
and I was devastated. Man. Jackie Chan is like one of my all-time favorite just action heroes, movie stars, and all that. So whenever I realized that was a hoax, I was like, oh, thank God. But I had to do the same thing with Chadwick, because he's a big inspiration of mine as well. So I found out the truth and all that, and I was just like, there's no way, man. Like, how in the world did this happen? And then how he had 4, cancers for 4 years. And I was just like, man, that is a huge testament, like you guys mentioned, of how strong-willed this man is, how just strong in general this man was, and how he was just committed to bringing to life characters that we, only read about, or characters that we probably not even know about. He actually, earlier, it was the same day that earlier that day, the same day he passed away, I posted something on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, Matt, about this samurai. He was the first African-American samurai named like Yasuke, I think his name is. And it was like an article about it. And I was like, I need somebody to make a movie about this, or to show me a book, because this sounds amazing. I really want to learn about this. And some of my friends sent me links to books and sent me links to different things. But one of my best friend named Isaiah, he sent me this link talking about how Chadwick Boseman was supposed to be the star of that movie. And I was like, yo, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see him. He's a perfect actor for that. And then no later than 4 hours or so later, you get the news about that. And that made it sink in me so much more. I was just like, come on, man. Like, really? The same exact day? So, man.
And I know both of you have said that he was really an inspiration to you guys. Can you guys talk about that a little bit? Like, What did Chadwick Boseman mean to you?
You can go ahead, Christoph.
Yeah, I can go ahead. Well, for me, just it kind of started back in 2013 when he did the movie 42, because I am a massive baseball fan in general, so that was definitely a must see for me. But the story of Jackie Robinson, I mean, how he just went through everything he went through, the discrimination and having racial slurs hurled at him. And for Chadwick to play that role, with such confidence, with such poise, and to just be under control, I think that's part of it. He was an inspiration playing another inspiration and another pioneer. And little did we know that he, years later would play, the Black Panther. Because one of the things you have to realize is that before Black Panther came along, a lot of African American kids never really had a true user-friendly superhero. And when I say user-friendly, there was Blade and there was Spawn, but both of those superheroes are more, for teenagers, more for adults. Some 5-year-old, some 6-year-old kid is not going to shouldn't be at least watching either one of those movies or reading the comics because of how graphic the content is. So I just think it's really cool that, kids could finally have a superhero, obviously nothing against Spider-Man or Captain America or Iron Man, all amazing superheroes. I love all of them, but to finally have the Black Panther, be introduced to the mainstream audience and the way he played that role, it's kind of like the way he played Jackie Robinson, just someone to look up to, people that look like me and whatnot. I just think that's really cool.
And his portrayal of Thurgood Marshall,
I'm sorry, I haven't seen that yet. I really want to
go check it out. Yeah, go check it out for sure.
Too.
And I know you guys, Christoph. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I actually even gave it a little bit more thought. I was talking to my mom today about what we were recording tonight, and she didn't. I mean, she doesn't watch Marvel or watch a lot of movies, so she doesn't oblivious to things that are going on in the world. But she's like, "Well, how big of a star was he?" I'm like, "Well, let me try to put it in perspective for you that you'd understand. I really think that this is on the this would be like Christopher Reeve dying as Superman back in the 70s. Like that is how big of an influence and a legacy that this man has left behind, because he literally is the Superman of a new generation as Black Panther. So agree 100%, Christoph. How about you, Stu?
So can people see our faces and stuff right now?
Yes.
Okay. So as you guys can see, my hairstyle is heavily influenced from the movie The Black Panther.
Yeah.
Killmonger. What's his name? Killmonger.
The Michael B. look going.
Yeah. Not the same actor, but the influence that movie had. I don't ever really let anything change or influence my hairstyle in particular, but that movie did something that was just like, man, this is, I don't know, it felt like it was made specifically for me, and I resonated with that so hard to where I wanted to just take a part of that and put it into my life, and then I guess that's where this came to be. But the acting job and the work ethic that Chadwick put into the character of Black Panther was just super I don't know. It resonates very, very, very hard and deep in my life, because I was able to look at it like Christoph was saying, and see the impact that it would have on all of the other kids growing up. For me, growing up, my favorite superhero is and always will be Spider-Man. He's just the best in my opinion, but I didn't have much to look at him be like, he doesn't look like me. He's young like I am, but that's about it. He's young kid, lives in a completely different state, a completely different city. All of his life is just so much different from mine. And then, to look at him and be like, well, he's great. I wish I could be him. And then having a character like the Black Panther come out and he looks, same skin complexion as I am, probably doesn't speak the same way I do because I don't have an African accent. But you know, the other characters in the movie that were you know, like that, you know, they did speak similar to me, or they had some sort of influence that, you know, had cultural similarities to mine. And I was looking at it like, man, you know, yeah, he's got superpowers, yeah, he's got this or that, but you know, at the core of it, he's just like me. And you know, to be able to look at that and see how that would resonate super deep with all of the other kids that are, you know, around. It just I'm a teacher for my day job, and I asked the question the other day to some of my kids. Is like, hey, who's your favorite superhero? And a lot of them answered Black Panther.
Yeah,
like just this was a resounding Black Panther in like multiple classes, and I was like, wow, like this for real. That was before he passed away too. So
yeah,
you know, people weren't just being like, oh, Black Panther because he died and all that, but he was just, that movie stuck with not just that movie, but his character, you know, because he was in Civil War and Infinity War and all of those other I think it was just those, but in those Marvel movies, and his character was just so well done and so well acted. You know, he portrayed him so well that it stuck with people. And just to see how, you know, it really resonated with other kids and with other people that were, you know, similar to me, and even some kids that don't even, you know, share my same race or same skin tone, ethnicity and all that, they still loved him as well. And I'm like,
yeah,
this man bridged the gap between, you know, cultures because of how well of a job he just does and how good of an actor he is.
I think he was universally loved by the fans. Like,
yeah,
absolutely. I'll never forget watching Endgame in the theater. And yeah, the climax of the movie when you know, Captain America is standing there, and then he gets the comms in his ears, and like some of the first people to come out is
Wakandans.
Yeah.
Black Panther, Shuri,
the place erupted. I mean, the theater erupted.
Yeah. Oh man, did you go opening night too?
Oh yeah,
Oh, of course. There's no other way.
Wow.
It was great, man.
That brought tears to my eyes, actually. That part, even more so than Iron Man dying, like seeing them.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, we've been waiting so long for this. How talk about a great payoff.
It was great, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think he really did bridge a gap with fans and really universally loved by everyone. So
and they're already, so I live in South Carolina, and he's actually he went to TL Carolina, right? Yeah. He went to TL High School, which is actually in Anderson, not too far from where I live here in the Easley area. I live in Easley, which is closer to Clemson. And, you know, they're already kind of talking about putting a statue up at that high school, you know, where he went to school and was a star on the basketball team as well. So, star athlete. You know, Black Panther was a star athlete. I would really love for that to happen, because that could potentially bring a lot of tourism to our state. Just kind of having that there. It's like, oh, let's go to Anderson, you know, to get a picture with the Black Panther statue. So.
Yeah. You know, I think I don't know what will happen with the mantle of Black Panther. Like, I definitely think it could potentially go on. I would love to see Surrey play Black Panther.
That's been the biggest what's it called, rumor, I guess you could say, or like thing that people are saying. She should be the person to take over the mantle, because I've heard that if I've heard correctly, the comics actually allude to that. Like, they say that after T'Challa steps down or he dies or something like that, she's supposed to take over the Black Panther mantle. Yep.
I remember.
And I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. That's cool.
I know, that'd be great.
So Susie's actually watching tonight. Hey, Susie.
Hey.
And she says, "What's your favorite tech from Black Panther?" And I love how Shuri drove a car from across the world.
Ooh.
So
that is very that's a cool
I'm gonna say my favorite tech is his suit. Just the one that she made for him that can absorb the energy from hits and explosions and stuff, and then he can send it back. I think one of the coolest suits in the Marvel universe, 100%.
No, I would agree with that because that
even more so than a Hulkbuster suit.
Yeah, dude. Whenever he the absorption capability that you were talking about, and he does the he was just letting people hit him, and then he jumps up and does the little like slam down thing, and it shows the big old like energy wave that comes out. I was in the theater like going crazy.
Your mind.
That was one of the coolest things. But I'd say mine, other than his suit, would be either the what was the one guy who was like a part of the I think he was from Shield, but he came into the place and was like helping out.
Are you talking about Martin Freeman's character?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he was driving the
that guy,
the jet with the whatever seat they had.
Bilbo outside of Marvel, but I forget his name in this.
Yeah, I can't remember his name in this, but that thing he was flying, I thought was really cool because he was just sitting down in like a seat, kind of like Star Trek style or whatever, flying the thing around.
Yeah.
That was really cool, man. I thought that was a nice invention.
How about you, Christoph?
Oh, me, I got a hands down gonna go with the sneakers that he wore that were like soundproof, sound resistant. You kind of get him, point A to point B without even being heard. Like,
I need to see the movie again, man. I don't remember
that. And just how cleverly played it was put on. Like, I just like laugh so hard at that scene every time. It's like he sneaks around and he can't be heard, and I just thought that was so hilarious.
Is that the part whenever his sister was like, "What are those?"
Yeah.
Okay. I remember that.
They put current culture at that point in time into the MCU. Like, I just pretty funny.
Our friend of the podcast, Danny, actually asked a question that I'm sure is on a lot of Disney fans' minds because earlier this week, Whoopi Goldberg actually asked it as well, and he says thoughts on Wakanda Land, Disney World, and Disneyland.
Oh,
wow!
Yes, gotta go. That's my next question. What are we getting rid of to make room for this? I'm down with it. I'm all for it.
I would have said the Ellen ride, but that's already been done. So I have no idea.
Do you think it would probably for Disney World would probably go in Hollywood Studios? That's my guess. Or you think Animal Kingdom? Like I'm thinking one of those two.
I'm actually go ahead. So you guys think Hollywood Studios
or Animal Kingdom? One of the two.
I feel like Animal Kingdom would probably hit better because of him being the Black Panther, and they could probably just weasel that into the land a lot easier somehow. I don't know where though. At there, I haven't been there in like a couple of years, so. But
like Avatar Land is like taking over there pretty much.
That's true. That is true.
I'm trying to think of where it would go to.
I think both of those are solid, but they would have to rework things, of course. Yeah. So we know that the Guardians coaster is taking place of the Energy Pavilion, and Wonders of Life is right next door, and that is slated to be the Play Pavilion. I say scrap that. Turn it into Wakanda.
Yeah.
Turn it into a tech pavilion.
Yeah.
Turn it in with the Guardians, and everything's great. So
that actually makes perfect sense.
And then of course Disneyland. I think you fit him in the Avengers campus. I mean, I think you can do it pretty easy. Somehow get him into that new area that they're currently building. So, and I know
I never thought of it.
That they have the Quinjet attraction. Coming in, we don't really know a whole lot of details, but I feel like that could, if you're flying in a Quinjet, I think you could easily do something with Wakanda in there. So
for sure,
that's a great question because I've
and we do have a couple of responses to that. So Susie's like, Wakanda is better than
Oh, I mean, in that ride, like that virtual reality ride, that's pretty cool. I don't know, like
I'm sadly never been on that ride because it took too long.
Danny says put it either in Africa in Animal Kingdom or build Africa Pavilion in Epcot. So
they're thinking an expansion. Okay.
Yeah. So
do they not have an Africa pavilion in Epcot?
No, not really. Sword. It's not
How
like
have I not known that? I've been there so many times.
there originally was going to be one, and that would actually make a really interesting future podcast episode topic. I mean, it was in like the brochures and plans. Like there was going to be
like back when Epcot first opened in '82.
Yes.
Wow.
But there, I can't remember exactly what the name of the area is. Like it does have a specific name, but when you're crossing the bridge from China into like before you get to Germany, there's is it Outpost? I can't remember. But
I think it is Outpost. I don't remember that.
So that's where it is. I mean, they have like some drums that you can play, and during Food and Wine, typically it is an Africa booth with food from there. But World Showcase would be interesting. I still like. Forget about the Play Pavilion. Just turn it into Wakanda. Turn it into. So
yeah.
Michael said, "I feel like they should put a tribute in Adventures Campus. I think that will absolutely happen." And then for Disney World, he says, "Dinoland."
Ooh, get rid of Dinoland
and bulldoze Dinoland. Just get rid of it. Scrap it.
It's been around long enough. Great ride, but it's been around long enough.
It's had its time.
Yeah, Dinosaur's a good movie, but I don't think many people remember it all that much anymore. So put Black Panther.
It was a great movie, but Black Panther can take
its place. Sorry, Aladar.
The point is, I think you could put Wakanda or anything Wakanda, anything Black Panther
in Animal
anywhere in Disney World. I mean, I don't care what park it is in Disneyland. It's going to be a huge hit. Like I really think it would be. So,
how do you think it would fit in like Magic Kingdom? That's the one.
Maybe not Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, exactly.
The only park.
I was thinking about that. You know, since Black Panther and Wakanda has like a lot of technology and stuff like that, the area in Magic Kingdom that
Tomorrowland.
Yeah,
Tomorrowland. That's what my mind was thinking. I was like, if they stuck that in there and then had like a whole section of like, we could have all of this stuff in the future and, you know, have just like little bits and pieces of Wakanda thrown in there. That would be pretty cool too.
They could get rid of like that Monsters Inc. stuff or whatever.
Anything but Play Pavilion.
There are already people on board to just completely
get rid of Play Pavilion.
No Play Pavilion. Just do it. So, yeah. Anyway, well, I think it just shows how much, you know, the character in itself is really cool, but man, Chadwick made him amazing.
You really did.
And I saw somebody post it and it says, we have captains. We have Captain America. We have Captain Marvel, but there's only one king. So,
he's the king of the MCU.
Yep.
There's no disputing that.
Absolutely. Such a legend. But we are actually going to continue celebrating Chadwick this week. And that's what we are going to do. We're really going to celebrate his legacy and what he brought us. And because, you know, we'll be enjoying the movies that he brought to life for years and years to come. So originally this Friday, instead of our movie night, we were actually going to do a music request night on Discord. So you could request all of your Disney music for a couple of hours, almost have like a DJ session. But we are going to do that later this month. But I felt like Susie and I really discussed and we're like, okay, I think we should watch Black Panther this Friday night. So that is what we will do. So this Friday night at 8 p.m., we will all gather like we typically do and watch Black Panther on Disney Plus starting at 8 o'clock. And we will discuss the movie in Discord. So come find us on Discord and come check out all of our other social media platforms as well. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram and Twitter. Just search for the Imagineers Disney Podcast. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, you can find us. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere that you like to listen to your podcast, you can find us. Leave us a rating. Tell us what you love about the show. And share the podcast on social media, especially if you have loved listening to the episodes. We sincerely appreciate you guys sharing that with everyone. And yeah, we really love doing it, and it's one of the highlights of our week. And it's always great bringing on friends too. So we are super glad to have you guys on tonight. Christoph and Stu, thank you for coming on and sharing your thoughts about Chadwick and what he meant to you. So thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
So until next time, friends, remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting.